faculty. We'll see how to deliver a course from A to Z. Okay, I just want to tell you that I used to be a faculty. I taught in different countries, Tunisia, Switzerland, France, and I spent 14 years in Bahrain. So, and I also have the grade of associate professor. So welcome to all of you to this session, and let's start. Fine, so what we can say about Microsoft Teams is a hub created by Microsoft. It's meant to be collaboration software for people using it. It will allows you to do meetings. It will allows you to have the possibility to chat with your colleagues. And it is also allowing for, let's say, academic people to start a course, initiate a course, create the course, create all the course materials for that, and also the assessment, which is creating assignments, creating quiz, and also assessing them and grading them. Fine. So in order to use Microsoft Teams, you have different options. And before that, I just want to tell you that Microsoft Teams is existing into two licenses, one for education and one also for corporate. How can I know which version I'm using? It's very simple. If you have in the left pane that you have here a button assignment, it means that you are using the education version. If you don't have this icon assignment, it means that you are using the Microsoft version of Teams for the corporate companies. Fine, so let's start. I just want to talk about some tips and tricks before we will move on. I'm sure that you are using, all of you, Microsoft Teams for delivering your courses. And one of the tips and tricks that I will show you right now is, for example, I just want to keep only the courses that I have a focus on. The other courses, I will just hide them. Maybe the list of courses that you have in front of you is a big one, and you just want to focus on the one that you are teaching on a daily basis. So for example, let's assume if I want to hide this one, so I will move my cursor over the ellipses here, and I click on hide here. So for example, this one also, I can hide that one. So move the mouse over the ellipses and click on hide. They will not be deleted. In reality, they will be moved to the hidden teams like we have it here, which we can shrink or expand. And if we want later on to return back a team to its position, so all we have to do is to click on the show, and the course will return back to its main position. Okay, that's for the first one. The second one, you can also sort the different teams that you have here in front of you. What you can do, you can use the drag and drop to move any teams that you have in the position that you want. This is or helps you organizing the teams the way you want. Okay, fine. So this is just for these two tips and tricks. And let's start right now creating the team, and we'll see mainly how to add people or students, okay, in a bulk way, which is the preferred version, preferred way, if I have to say it like that, in order to add students to that. Why? Because imagine that you have a section of 50 or 100 students. You are not going to enter the students one by one. Okay, let's start right now to do that. Okay, so I click on join or create team. And here I have the possibility to create a team, but keep in mind this this one is join a team with a code. So this one you will use it with me for example, registering with me to the course, assuming that you are the student, assuming that I am the instructor. Okay, so after that we will share a code, and this code you need to enter it into this level. Okay, so for the time being, let me just create the team. So I'll click on create team, and in Microsoft Team for Education, we have 4 types of team that we can create. We can create a class, can create a PLC, which is professional learning community. We can create staff type, and we can create other. So for the class, it's is the course that you are teaching. It can be different section Math 101 section 1, Math 101 section 2, and many other sections if you have. So if it is the case, you can use the class. PLC is a group of faculty. They are working together on creating a new course syllabus or maybe a new curriculum. So if it is the case, you can choose this type. Staff, of course, is the staff within the admin staff within the university. So it can be a registration team, it can be the finance team, it can be VPs, it can be the deans, it can be the let's say the chairpersons. So all of this, if it is the case, you can use this one. The last one is the other, which is different social activities that you have at the university or at the college. It can be the sports clubs, it can be IT clubs, so all the different clubs that we usually do. Okay, we can create this type of teams. Okay, so today I'm going to focus exclusively on the class. Okay, so I will click on the class right now. Okay, so here we are going to define the name of the class that we are going to teach, for example. And if from the audience, one of you can suggest a title of the course that he would like to have. Hello, you can hear me, guys?
IT course. IT course.
Okay, fine. Which type of IT? IT is it's huge, you know.
IT database.
Okay, fine. Okay, very good. Okay, fine. So here I have the possibility to enter the description of the course. So from where I can get the description, you can get it from the course syllabus. Otherwise, of course, it is optional, but if you want to put it, that's fine. Otherwise, you can click on next. Here is where I can define the list of students that they are registered to the course, okay? And I can define the teacher, but since I am the owner of this course, I am the teacher, so there is no need that I will go to this section to add a teacher, but you can add teacher here in case you have, for example, lab assistant with you. Okay, so if it is the case, you can add a teacher here, lab assistant, by entering his email, and he will be added here. So for the students, what we can do here, we can start by putting the first characters, and we can add, for example, as many,
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, welcome.
let's say, excuse me, can you mute your mic, please? Okay, fine, then
Doctor, if I have Excel list, I can import it here.
no chance. No, there is no way to add the list from an Excel file or a CSV file.
Thank you.
But I will show you a better way that, okay, so maybe it will come in the near future, I don't know, but I'll show another way of doing that. So I'm not going to add the students one by one because it will take too much time for me. I will click on skip. The course will be created, as you can see. Then for every course that we'll create, it will have a name, it will have a logo, it will always have the general channel. So the general channel will come with every team that you will create. It's by default, you cannot rename it and you cannot delete it. Okay, it is always having, for every team you will create, it will always having a general. So general is the center point of every team in Microsoft Teams. Fine, so let's start by changing the icon. Okay, so I'll click here on change team picture. I have the possibility to select the grade level, primary, secondary, post-secondary, and I can select, or I just fine tune that one for the type of the course. Okay, so let us choose engineering, for example. Okay, then I might choose this one. Okay, or even, yeah, let's say it's database. So assume that it has some coding on that. I will select this icon. So the icon will be updated. Fine. So the first thing that we usually do is to add the students. We didn't do it at the beginning once we have created the team. So we'll do it right now. We will go in front of the course. We'll have the ellipsis, which corresponds to the more option. I'll click on it and I click on the manage team. So here currently he is saying to me, I am the owner of the course, which is correct. Currently I have member and guests, which are 0. That's fine because we didn't add any students. I will go to the settings right now. Okay, and after that, I will go to the team code and I click on generate. So what will do Microsoft Teams, it will generate a unique code, okay? And this unique code will be linked to this course. And what I can do for this one, I can copy that and send an email to my students asking them to enter this code in order to join this course. So this is something that I can do. The other thing that I can do is to put it in full screen, and I just highlight the code in order that the students will enter it. So assuming that we are going to ask you, okay, to enter this code. So please, I'm going to share that in the chat, this code, and I would like that everyone will enter this code into the appropriate place. Okay, so as you can see, I have shared the code. Tell me if you have received it or not.
Yes, received.
Okay, very good. So what you need to do, all of you guys, you need to click many times on Teams until you'll be able to have to see join or create team. Okay, click many times until you'll see join or create team. Once you have that, you click on it, and here you need to paste the code and click on join. Yalla, please, all of you do this. Thank you. Done? Hello?
Hello. Hello, Dr. Karim.
Yes. Did you enter the code?
I think I didn't get you where to enter the code, doctor.
Okay, I will show you that. Just give me a second. Okay, I will show you again how to enter the code. So assuming that you are inside any of the team, in order to have to see the icon of join or create team, you need to click many times on Teams until you'll see join or create team. That's the first step. Okay, guys? Hello?
Yes, okay.
Okay, fine. Then when you click that, you will have join or create a team, join a team with a code, and this is where you need to paste the code that I showed you previously. And after that, you click on join team. Understood? Okay, let me check who has already added or registered. So I will check that.
1 second, just need the code.
Okay, I have only 2 people joining. The other, please try to do it as fast as you can, because the agenda is big today. Just a matter of doing copy paste, please. Yeah, I have now 8. Yeah, okay, please. The others. So let me tell you how much we are. We are 33. Yalla, please speed up, guys. 9 I have now. Hello. Guys, I'm waiting for you. Do you have any problem entering the code, yes or no? Please. So otherwise, I will move forward with these people only. Huh?
Actually, I tried the code, but it's not working with me.
Okay, why? Tell me, what's the reason for that? Okay, did you use the code that I just... You need to copy paste the code that I gave you.
Okay, I will try. See.
Okay, just look with me. What I'm going to do, I'll just copy that, and I will go to Teams, click it many times until you'll see join or create team. Okay, once you have that, you click here and you do paste, Control V or right click and paste, and you click join team. Try and tell me if it is successful or not.
The same code couldn't join the team with this code. Double check the code or try another one.
Yeah, this is the code. It's EDLXD72. Did you use the username and the password provided by the university, or are you using your own username and password, your personal one?
Sir, about me, the same from our college.
Yeah, so it should work. Make sure that you will not add space before and after, please.
Oh, I joined.
Okay. Fine. Okay. I'm sorry. I have a tight agenda, so I need to move on. I cannot wait for the others. I just give sometimes. Okay. I just have 13 only registered. Okay. I will move on. Okay. Bye. Fine. So what we can say here, once I went to manage team here, I am the owner of the course, and these are all the people that have registered to my course. So in case that I'm going to add one student during the add and drop period, I have to click on add member, and if I know his name, okay, so for example here, Dr. Abdul Ghafoor, for example, and I can set here, click on that and I click on add, and he will be added to the course. Okay, so that's something you can do later on. And during the add and drop period, there is no harm to do to add 1 or 2 students. It's not big deal. If one of the students is going to drop for the course, so for example, Dr. Abdul Ghafoor, okay, I can, if he's going to remove or drop from the course, I can click on the X and he will be removed from the course. If one of the reason, one of the member that I have with me, I would like to convert it as the owner, for example, Mahmouda, she is my lab assistant, for example, I can click on the member here and I can turn it to be the owner. And once she is the owner, she will have the full privilege of dealing with the course and decide for everything. Okay. Later on, I can turn it on to return back to be a member by turning that member, and she will return back as a member. Okay, fine. So this is just for adding students, removing students, turning one of the students or turning one of the members as owner, and return it back as a member. Okay, I'm going to the settings right now. Okay, I'm going to talk about the member permission here. For the member permission, this is from the best practice and also from my experience, is that all of these settings needs to be turned off. Why? Because otherwise, delivering the course using Teams will be a nightmare for you. Why I will say that? Because the students will start playing, they can start presenting, even that you didn't allow them. They can mute you, they can write message, for example, that might be an insult to you or to someone else, and they can, after that, they can delete it. So all of this option needs to be turned off. I should also add the option to delete the message, because this is happening to my colleague last year. The students has insulted the instructor, and after that he deleted that, and unfortunately my colleague was not able to provide the proof that he was insulted. Okay, so it's better that also you turned off this delete of the message. Okay, so just from best practice and from my experience, it's better to keep all this option unchecked. Just the last one is just to give this option to the students to edit their message. Okay, fine. So let me return back to my central point, that is the general channel. So once I click on the general channel, I have here 2 main categories that I need to take care of about the course, which about the team, sorry. The first one is to upload my class material, and the second one is the setup of the class notebook. Let us start with the upload of the class material. So once I click here on upload class material, is as if I went from the post to the file. Okay, so going that is here is the interface of OneDrive. OneDrive is a software created by Microsoft. It's allowing you to upload any files into the cloud. And once I click on the file here, this is where I need to make sure to put my class material. But the class material needs to be put it inside the class material folder and not outside. So I need to make sure that I click on class material. And here, Microsoft Teams is reminding me that whatever file I will put here will be just as read only, which is the case that I want. Okay, so let me just start adding a file by going to upload, and I can upload a file or a folder. So let me select a file here. Let me select, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. So let me select this file, which is my slide that I have here. So I can see the progress of the uploading. Once I click on uploading, I can see how it is being uploaded to the cloud. And once it is done, I can see the file uploaded, and I will see the details of that in just a couple of seconds. Here we go. The file is there. So here it's a PDF file. I know that, but the students can click on it. It will be opened, the PDF inside Teams. So you don't need to have either the browser to open the PDF or Acrobat Reader for that. It will come inside Teams, and the students will be able to preview the slides. Okay, what are the other things that we can do? Let me just return back to class material here. And if I select the file, I have different possibility with the file to do. So once I select the file and click on the ellipses here, I have the possibility to open the file, which we did. We can copy the link and send it to people from outside. We can download it, we can delete it. But be careful here, download and delete. I can obtain them because I am the owner of the course. Okay, the students will not be able to delete and will not be able to do download. If I will say that this course is very important, okay, I can pin it on the top, and it will be pinned here just to show that this one is important. Okay, so this is something that you can do. Okay, let me just return back to the general here. And I just want to show you that if I will upload a file outside class material, you will be able to modify it because you are currently acting as if you are a student. So let me just upload this file rapidly. And I will just ask you, all of you, to open this file and start writing things inside it. Okay, so all you have to do is to go to Files and click on the research assignment here. The file will be opened into Microsoft Word Online. So Word Online will come inside Teams and not outside. Okay, that is something that is very good. Okay, so try to write things by modifying the marks, please, if you can do that.
Just 1 minute, doctor. Can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this uploading of the file in the class material, is it different from me uploading when I upload the files in the channels that I create? Suppose I upload the files in the channels that I create, the students, can they modify it like you said they can?
Yes, sure, 100% they can modify it.
So how do I, if I do it in that channel of that week, how do I make them not modify it? Is there
You
a class
cannot.
material in that channel? I cannot do that.
No,
Okay.
no chance.
Because what happens is in every channel I put in the week, you know.
There is one unique container of the class material, okay, which is the one that you have it in the general. Okay, so
Okay.
that's the only one.
Okay, this only that one they cannot touch it. The others, if I upload, they can.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you very much.
that's the only place where they cannot touch. So as you can see, yeah, please try to modify things, please. I would like to see. So currently, I can see as faculty, for example, I can see the students. Okay, sorry, I'm telling you students, but I know that you are faculty members. So I can see the faculty members that are involved and just open the file, and they can modify things. So okay, you can use highlighter if you want. Okay, like that, and try to use different colors. Please, the others, try to join, please. I have only 5. The other, please try to join me here. Okay, so here, this is just to show you that in reality here we can, if I will put outside the file, outside class material, the students can modify it. But in reality, we can use this way of collaboration as, for example, doing some brainstorming myself with the students. I can give an exercise, and I can see the progress, how the students are collaborating together on the exercise, and all of this. Moreover, I can, as faculty, so for example, I would like to know the contribution of everyone. So for example, here I can see that Sheikha Mahfouda, she's doing things. I can see Majid here. I can see, so all the details, okay? For example, Ahmed, Abdullah. So everyone, I can see what he's going to do in this in this file. So you can use it for doing some collaboration with your students. And also you can have that as, for example, assuming that you are using formative assessment, you can use that to have full evidence for quality assurance later on. And even as faculty, once I will leave and I will close the file, you can continue working on it. That's something that is very, very useful. Okay. Okay, fine. So you can see also the last person who modified the file. That's not me, as you can see. Dr. Nabila, she modified, or she's the last one who is modifying the file. Understood? Yes. No.
Yes, doctor.
Yes.
Very
Yes,
good.
yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so if you want, so here I just uploaded the file, but you can create one. So I can click here on new, I can create an Excel workbook, and I will say here brainstorming, and I click on create. It will be created. So Excel will come into Teams, as you can see. Here we go. And let me just have here a number. Oh, sorry. Okay, then here name. Email. Okay, fine example. Huh? Okay, just for exercise, for collaborating all together, please try to join me into this exercise. I need that everyone will write his name and email, please, just to show you how we can collaborate in this type of exercise. You can choose any number. Huh? So this is a good idea to collaborate with your students. And you can have to see the contribution of everyone. So I can also see the changes, as you can see here, all the changes that can be documented here. So everyone that what he's doing in this workbook. So I can see the new changes. Okay, so honestly, this is a good feature that I will recommend you that you will use it with your students. Okay, especially if you are teaching online. Okay, guys. Fine. So this is the point. So as I said, I can close that. You can continue working on it. And yeah, this is the features that it's very, very useful for that. Okay, let me return back to the general. We didn't define the class notebook. Let's do it. But before that, let's talk about the post. Okay, so we discovered the files. We agree on that. For the post, what we can do, we can have here new conversation. Hi to all. If you can reply to my message, please, in the general, in the post tab. Let's do it fast, please, guys. Hello. Stop using the Excel file, please. I need you to collaborate with me in the chat, in the posts. Okay, good to hear that. Okay, fine. So this is something that we can have. So Teams will record all the chat that we will have. Okay, the chat needs to be, of course, related to the course. It's obvious. Okay, let me try to show you another thing. So we can create customized chat, okay, by clicking on new conversation. Please follow me. I click on the format. I can have to add here next week we will start lecture 01. Okay, I can select that. I can put it in bold. I can put it in italic and put it underline. I can increase the font large, something like that. I can decrease the indent. I can decrease the indent. I can make it a bullet point if I want. Okay, I can make it a numbered list if I want. So you have here the possibility to make sure to define custom messages. Okay. Then this is something that we can do. We can create an announcement. In order to create an announcement, I click on new conversation and I click here on the format and I will change it here now to be an announcement. So I will say IT database course here. Welcome to all of you. I can have here the possibility to have an illustration. Okay, so I can select a background image for that.
Can you just show us
Okay, I will
the
select.
announcement, Doctor, again, please?
Yeah, I will redo it again. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay, I will delete. Okay. Okay, for the announcement, you click on follow with me, please. New conversation. Then after that, I will go to the format. And in the format, I have to choose, instead of conversation, I will select announcement. Okay, and I will say here IT database. The core IT course, so I'll say for IT college, can mention it's part of the IT college. Welcome to all. Okay. Then also I can have here to add a background image. I choose an illustration for that. I select this background and I click on done and I will send. And as you'll see, this is the announcement that I can put for showing an important message to the students. Okay. Now, let me show you one thing that might be useful. Let me talk about the case study that we will have. Assuming that I have all these courses that I'm teaching, okay? And I'm going to attend a workshop outside Oman. And I want that the announcement will be posted onto all these courses. So normally I have to repeat that for every course, but there is a way that I will just do it once and I will find it into all the courses posted here. Let me show you how to do that. So I return back to my course. I click here on new conversation. I select the format, then I will choose announcement, but I want that in this announcement. I don't want that people will reply to it. Okay, I can say that you and the moderator can reply. Okay, I will say attending a workshop. Then here I will say lecture is cancelled and makeup lecture will be announced later. Okay, I can select here the background and I will choose the fire dragon here. Click on done. Then in order that I post that into a multiple channel, I click here. So by default, it will go to the general channel of this course, but I can select the other channel in other courses. So I can select here, for example, English. I will post it in the general. Math, I will post it there. And also, for example, the staff development here in the general, or maybe the English. And I click update. And after that, I will send that. And this announcement will be posted into this course and the other courses. I can check that. If I go to Teams right now and select English 101, yeah, you can see it's there. And if I check here, English 101 section 1, it is there. the math also, it is there. Okay, guys. So this is for the post. In the post, we can have to create, let's say, a poll. Let me show you how we can do that. So I click on new conversation. If you want to add a poll, you just type add forms. And once you mention add forms, you can here use the Microsoft Forms, which is the application within Microsoft 365 that allows you to create polls, survey, and quizzes. Okay, I click on that and I will click here on create a new poll. And I will just would like to have the opinion of the students. Okay, are you satisfied with the teaching? Okay, and Microsoft Forms has artificial intelligence behind it, so it can analyze every question that you will ask in the poll, and he can suggest options. I can say add all, okay, and after that I can click on share. This is the overview how it looks like, and I click on send. And if you can please try to answer to this poll rapidly. I can do it for myself also. I am satisfied. Submit vote. And I can see in real time the progress of the poll. So please try to mention some of you maybe or no, just to have to see, let's say, a real picture of the poll. So only 4 people has replied. Please, the other one.
How do we do that, doctor? Can you?
Yeah, here in the general, you will see here this one. Are you satisfied with the teaching? Where you can select here the type of the answer, and after that you click on submit vote. Fine. Okay, so I can see now in real time the response here. So this is a good feature, especially if also you are requested to conduct a survey or a poll, okay, but for one of the reasons, so you can do that. So it's very simple. All you have to do is to type add forms, and you can create the forms for that.
A quick question. Oh.
Yes, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question, doctor. On the left side, there is a chat, right? Which I use for my students use that chat message when they chat with me. What is the difference between the left side chat and the one that is in general chats?
Okay, good question.
Conversation.
Yeah. In the chat here, it's giving you all the chat that you are doing into the different courses, plus with certain students. Okay, whereas if I will go inside the teams and I go here to the posts, I can see only the chat related to this channel, that is the general channel. So here it's giving you a global overview about all the chat that either, let's say, a chat that is sent to you, okay, including also here for every meeting that I will do, I can see all the chats. As you can see here, the chat for this meeting that we are doing right now, these are all the chats that we have.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you. And one more thing I can add, that left side chat can be seen only by me, but the chat in the general can be seen by all the students of the class.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Most welcome. Sheikha Mahfouda.
Yes, Doctor. I have a question also regarding the polls. You design it when you design the course, or you can do it during the session?
No, it's during. What do you mean? You don't need to be in a meeting in order to do that. So I can do it here anytime. Anytime I can just type at.
And keep it.
And
like
after
whenever
that,
whenever they join the meeting, they will see the poll that they have to select.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's right. So, and you can customize it the way you want. Okay, so this is
Thank
something
you.
that you can do. Most welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so clear for the posts, guys, before we move on? Hello?
Yes, clear, it's clear.
Okay, fine. So next one is the class notebook. So how can I go to the class notebook? I have two ways to go to the class notebook. Either I will go to the tab here or from the general.
Can you,
and I
Doctor,
scroll
excuse
up.
me, Doctor, can you share your screen? Thank you.
Okay, so my sharing, the sharing was stopped because maybe someone was trying to share. Okay, so this is the kind of things that you better lock it with your students. Okay, fine, never mind. Okay, so return back to the general. I scroll up. So we uploaded the class material and he's asking me also to set up the class notebook. So by clicking here on the setup class notebook is as if I went from files to the class notebook. And the first time I need to set up a OneNote class notebook. And I can reuse one of my existing class notebook, but otherwise for
Doctor, unmute yourself, please.
I think someone is playing with me. Okay, fine. So we have 4 section collaboration space where me and the students, we can collaborate. It means that the students can edit the content and myself, I can edit the content. Content library is same as the class material where whatever I will put, I can do read and write, but the student can just read. Teacher only section, this section will not be visible by the students. Okay, it will be just visible by me. And for the student notebook, I can see for each student their notebook. So I click on next. You can just customize the section of the student notebook. The student name, you will have handouts. I can just mention here the notes. I will remove homeworks and I keep quiz. I will create a new one. Assignments. Okay, and I click on create. The class notebook will be created. It might take some time at the beginning once you will create it, but after that it will be immediately available and you can use it straightforward. Okay, just a second, it will be created. So I don't know if you have questions in the meantime.
Yes, doctor.
Yeah.
Speaking about the file, which when we put it in the other channels, the students can modify them.
Correct, yeah.
Can they also upload a file of their own?
Yeah, sure, 100%.
Okay, then how can we stop them from doing that?
Yeah,
Can we
you
stop them?
cannot stop it. Why? Because
Good.
assuming that the students is going to upload, I don't know, a document. For example, let's say, imagine that you are doing a teamwork project and you want that the students will provide you the meeting minutes of every group for this team project. Okay, and you will say that you need to do it in this channel. Okay, I think that it's I should consider to be a useful point, and if you want to not allow that, you need to ask the admin people with the IT staff that you have at the university. They will just modify the policy in order that they will not allow the students to upload the file there. That's the only concern. But I should consider to be an additional point if you would like to keep them adding posts or uploading files, especially for this kind of exercises that you can have for example, the meeting minutes of the teamwork project, which I usually do.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Most welcome. Okay, fine. My class notebook is ready. I can customize it the way you want. Welcome to the class IT database class notebook. ITDB class notebook. Okay, I can customize it the way I want. I can have to see the navigation here by expanding that. Okay, so this is the collaboration space that I will have. This is the content library. So I can use the content library to add any of my slides here. It is possible to do that. So by clicking on insert, and I can insert here either the file or many other things. Okay, so I can do here insert file attachment, choose file, and the file can be added here, and I click on insert and the file will be inserted. Okay, that's something that I can do. I will have the teacher only section, of course. Here, whatever I will put, you will not be able to see it, okay, because this is my section. And after that, for all people who has registered to the course, I can see their class notebook. I can see the progress of their quizzes, their handouts, their note and assignment. And also I have the possibility to give some feedbacks on that. Let me show you how we can do the feedbacks. I will go to the collaboration space here, and let me show you how we can do things. Okay, so I can here have the draw, and I can select a color of the pencil, and I can say here, okay, good, or something like that. So you can choose another color, or maybe you can do X, wrong. I know it's not easy to give commands using the mouse. So maybe if you want to do that, it's better that you have to buy a sketch pad, okay, in order to allow you to have a pencil on and write on the pad, and everything will go smooth. What else we can do? We can have the possibility to click on the insert. We can insert a table here. Okay, maybe I need to stop drawing. Okay, we click here, click on insert. Okay, let us use the content library. Yeah, okay, I click on insert, then I will insert a table 2 by 2, and the table will be inserted. I can add whatever I want here. And after that, I can go to the insert. I can insert a picture from online, from the internet. Choose animals, line, for example. And I click on insert, and the picture will be downloaded and put it into its place. So this is the class notebook that you can use it to monitor the progress of teaching and the progress of the assessment of your students. Let me return back to the general, guys. Okay, the next thing that we need to talk about is how to create channels. Okay, as you notice, always my central point is the general channel. So in case that I am lost, I need always to click on the general, and after that I can do whatever I want. Okay, let me focus on how to create the channel. Okay, once I have the general here selected, I can have the possibility here to add a channel. Okay, I will say, so what will be the channel that we can create? It can be the chapter, it can be the unit section, it can be the lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3. So it will depend how you will have that. Okay, so let me change that. Okay, so I'm going to change it. Edit this channel. I will name it lecture 1. Okay. Then after that, I'll create a new channel, name it lecture 02. I will just stop at lecture 3. Okay, then add channel lecture 03. Then I can have the possibility to create a channel that is private. Okay, so I selected the general channel, and after that I click on add channel. Then I will name this one at risk students. Okay, the at-risk students are students which are not behaving well in the teaching. Their GPA is low. Okay, I can click here on add and I can select. Oh, sorry, I did a mistake. It should be a private section. This one. Okay, so I'll delete it. Delete this channel. Delete. Okay, I repeat again. Add channel here. So this is where I need to make it private. To risk students. Okay, then once I add risk students for IT database. Okay, then after that I click on next, and here is where I need to add the students which are going to be at risk. Okay, assuming I'm sorry, Sheikh Mahfoud, I will put you there just for showing that. Okay, and I click on add, and I can add another one. Otherwise, I'll click on done. So what happens for this channel, me and Sheikh Mahfouda will be able to communicate there. What's the purpose of that is to give extra homework or extra assessment for the students here. And the other one will not be able to see it. Okay, why? Because it's private and the padlock is it's coming here. Fine, so let me talk about what's the purpose of having lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3. The idea of having lecture 1 is to, for example, each lecture that you do, it will have its own posts, it will have its own files, it will have its own additional teaching material. Okay, so I am in the lecture 1, I can have here new conversation. Hi, we are starting lecture 1. Okay, please read the text book from page 50 to 65, for example. Okay, so every channel will have its own chat. If I return back to the general, of course, I cannot see that. Why we do that? Because if we are giving some explanation about lecture 1, I want that the students will have the things organized. And once he's going to do his revision for the midterm test or the final exam, he can see for what are the discussion that we have covered in lecture 1, what are the discussion that we covered in lecture 2, and so on. So that's the idea of that. Okay, I'm not going to retype that for every lecture, so I'm going to copy that, paste. Okay, lecture 2, let's say 80 to 92, for example. Okay, then finally I will have here lecture 3 from page 120 to 131. Good. Okay, now this is the point. So your colleague previously said to me that if I will put files here, they can be modified by the students. The answer is yes. Okay, so but if you want to keep your slides available, the only position where you put your slides is always in general and files and inside class material. So this is something where nobody will be able to modify your class material. Okay, what are the other things that we can do? If I select lecture 1, here I have the possibility to have the plus to add extra teaching material. So what I can do, for example, I can click on YouTube. I noticed that there is a good YouTube videos about introduction to database that I want to share with my students, and this is part of the e-learning technology that we name blended learning. Okay, database, or let's say introduction to database. database. Okay, here we are going to search inside YouTube. Okay, so yeah, I can choose this one. Okay, is a recent one. I click on save. So what happens, the video will be added as a tab here. Okay, and the students are able to play the video within Teams without going to be outside Teams. Okay. I'm sorry, it was in Chinese. Okay, never mind. So if I return back to the post here, there is here a notification that is coming to the students, showing them that the instructor has put that, and the students either he can click here or he click here in order to have that. Okay, let me go to lecture 2. I can have the possibility to add a new tab, but this time I will add the website. Okay, which is this one, and I will say introduction to data manipulation language. Okay, and for that I need to open the browser and search for a URL. Just a second, I'll find that rapidly. Okay, then database data manipulation language. Okay, and yeah, okay, let's choose this one, this link. So what I will do, I will copy that. Okay, I return back to Teams, and here I will paste the link and I click on save. And the link will be opened as a tab in lecture 2. Okay, so if I return back to the post, I can see that this notification is given to the students just to tell them that the instructor has put that in order that the students can read additional, let's say, teaching material for that. And this is very, very useful, this way of teaching, because as I said, this is the blended learning, and sometimes I find some good YouTube videos, of course, from reputed universities such as MIT, Stanford, Cambridge, okay, which they give maybe the latest, let's say, research and fundamentals about database, about specific concepts that you can share with your students. Okay.
Excuse
Fine.
me, doctor. Can I ask you a quick question?
Yes.
Doctor, instead of I usually post it in my lecture, like you created lectures here. I post the video and the link and all. What is the difference between posting it in the lecture that you want them to see, and adding it in the place that you added just now?
Where you post that one, doctor?
In the
Excuse me?
post, in the post, doctor, like
Yeah.
here you said, like when you add it over there, you get a notification in the post. I straight away put it in the
Okay.
post
Yeah.
itself.
Okay. I got you. Yeah. Sincerely, I prefer to add it as a tab because it's more catchy. The students can see it. Okay. Moreover, if you put it as a post, it will come here. So yeah, for me, it's there is no big difference, but I prefer this way because once the students will move from lecture 1 to lecture 2 here and lecture 3, so lecture 3, he noticed that there is nothing here. Okay.
Yeah,
So even that he's not looking at the details of the post, he can see that I have here a tab. Okay.
absolutely, doctor, because sometimes when I post the video, it is
Yeah.
after so many posts, so the students literally have to search for it. But if I put it in the
Exactly.
tab, they
Yeah.
can see it at once. Thank you.
Yeah. You
Thank
can
you,
see
doctor.
it clearly. Yeah, I prefer this technique compared to the technique that you cited, doctor.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, fine. Move on. Everything is fine up to now, guys.
Yes, doctor, yes.
Okay, very good. Let's move on. Okay, let us go to the general. We cover the post, the file, the class notebook. Let's talk about the assignment here. So the assignment, you always find them in the general. Huh? Okay, you cannot find assignment in lecture 1, lecture 2, or lecture 3. Why? Because the assignment is relative to the course and it's not relative to the lecture. Okay, even that you'll say, oh, no, after lecture 1, I usually give assignment. Yes, okay, I agree. But if you look at the course syllabus, the assignment is just for the course and not for the lecture itself. Okay, never mind. So I will go to assignment here and I click on get started. I know that most of the faculty and most of the university, they are using their own learning management system, which is either Blackboard or Moodle. And I used to use Moodle for 14 years. Okay, this is where I used to post my assignment and my quizzes. Why? Because this is maybe the policy of the college or the university. Moreover, because also we are also checking against the plagiarism using appropriate software such as Turnitin. But let me tell you, in the near future, I don't know when, but I'm sure in the near future, Teams is going to replace this kind of software that is Moodle and Blackboard. Okay, so let's be ready in case that they will become like that. So we know how to give assignments, we know how to give quizzes, we know how to grade, let's say the quizzes and the assignments, and also how to give feedbacks. Fine. Okay, I will click on create. I have two choices here. Either I create an assignment or a quiz. I will start with the assignment first of all. Okay. So the page will be loaded like that. I will just put here ITDB assignment 01. Okay, I can write the instruction of the assignment, but honestly, it's not as good as to write it in Microsoft Word, and after that I will add it as a resource. So in case that you have that written that before on Microsoft Word, so all I have to do is to click on add resource, and I will upload that from my device. And this is the assignment that I have. I click on open. It will be uploaded into Microsoft Teams. This is the progress bar that you will have, and you click on done and it will be added. You can define the number of points for that. Of course, you need to check it in the course syllabus, how many points or how many marks you will assign that. You can define, is it assigned to all students? By default, yes, but also sometimes I might need to assign this assignment to the at-risk student, just to give them extra assessment in order that they improve their GPA. If it is the case, I can click here, I can select that I will give it to Mahfouda, then Dr. Hana and many other. Okay, otherwise I can click on clear and I keep it by default on all students. I can define the due dates, so it's maybe June 2nd. I can define the time due. Okay, let's say 8 p.m. is the time due maximum. And yes, that's all we can do. We can, if we still not going to assign that to my students, I can click on save. It will go to the draft here. So if I'll expand drafts, I will find it here. Then after that, if I want to return back to this assignment, I click on it. And if everything is okay, it's fine, I can click on assign and it will be assigned. So it will go to the assignment assigned, let's say, section, and we should receive in just a couple of seconds a notification telling me that the assignment is assigned, and also me and the students will receive this notification. Yes, this is the notification that is coming. If I go to the general, I can see that. So ITDB assignment 1 is there, and the students will have to see that notification, plus the activity will have to see that. So in case that he didn't see it, he can see it in the activity. Okay, good.
Yes,
now
doctor.
let's
yes.
yes
Once
yes,
when you put it in the draft, doctor, will students be able to see any assignments in the draft?
no no
No.
no
No.
no chance. Yeah, it's your part. It's your section.
Yes. And what did you say just now? You said you will put it also in the activity. I didn't get you.
No. I said the students will receive a notification where they can see it in the post in the general plus in the activity. Okay, in case that he didn't see it in the post, he can see it in the activity. He can see, go to the activity, that there was here, let's say, an icon in having background red that will come here, and he can see it just to catch his eye. Okay, that's the point.
Yes, thank you, doctor. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, move on. So I return back to assignments. Okay, I have one assignment that is assigned. Okay, you can see here the progress, how many students has turned that, yes or no. Then, okay, I will show you how to grade them, but let me continue. I click on create here, and I will create a quiz this time. The quiz, we will always create it with Microsoft Forms. Okay, so I will assume that I don't have this quiz before ready, so I'll create a new one. So I click on a new quiz. The quiz will be created using Microsoft Forms, so it will open your browser or your default browser, and it will go to forms.microsoft.com. Okay, just a second. I'm just going to stop the sharing just to put my password. Be patient. Yeah, it is done. So after I put my credential, this is the quiz. You can see my screen. Guys, you can see my screen?
Yes, doctor,
Okay.
we can see you.
So I will say ITGB quiz 01. Okay, I can enter description if I want. I can add a new question. And you are going all to answer to this quiz, please. In order that I will show you how we can grade and how we can give feedbacks. Okay, can we add students to teams in MS Teams in a bulk way? Okay, so as I told you, Microsoft Forms has artificial intelligence, and he will analyze the question. He will understood that maybe the question is yes, no, and maybe. So I'll remove maybe, okay, and I will just keep yes, no, and I will say yes is the correct answer, and I will say I will assign 2 points to that. And this question is mandatory. And also I want that I will have the shuffle options. So this option will not come into this order. They will come in different order every time. The students will try to do the quiz. I click add new and I click a choice. Okay, this question, what are the different assessments that we can do in MS Teams? Okay, then here I will name here assignment, then here quiz, and I can mention here other, or maybe add also exam. This question is, I have multiple answers, okay? And the right answer is assignment and quiz, okay? And I will say this one is having 3 marks, okay? So 1.5 for each, okay, for example. And yeah, so if I will scroll up, Microsoft Forms is going to count how many points for how many marks for each question. So this one is 2 and this one is 3, so total is 5. And I can see here the right answer for each question. I can have to see the preview of that in the computer or in the mobile phone, how it looks like. I can customize that with the theme if I want. Okay, choose this theme. And also I can define if I will go to the ellipses here and I go to the setting, I have the possibility to define a date for the quiz. So I'll just open this quiz only in just couple of minutes for one specific day, okay, which is today, for example. And I will say I will just open it 9:30 Bahrain time, okay, and end date is 9:45. Yeah, it's fine. And also I will try to have shuffle question just to add more complexity for people for students who are willing to cheat. Okay, so if 2 students are doing the quiz at the same time and they have each one in front of them their own laptops, each students will see question 2 at the beginning, the other one will see question 1, and even inside question 1 he will see also the option shuffle it. Okay, I did that. I didn't do any save because the saving is done automatically, as you can see here. So whatever change I will do, it will do saving. And let me show you that. Okay, so once I will add, he will move from saving to save it here. Okay, just to show you that it is saved. I'll keep that. I return back to Teams and I click on create and I'll click on quiz here. And I should be able to see ITDB quiz 1 today that I did it. I click on next and it will be uploaded first of all. Okay, and after that I can click here on save if I want to put it as a draft, or otherwise I click on assign and it will be assigned. Okay, notification will come also in the post and as the activity. Okay, so please try all of you to do this quiz. Okay, guys? Yeah, it's rapidly. You know the answers, you know how to answer that. Just to show you how to grade that and how to put the feedback.
Yes, I send you my answers, doctor.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
The other
Yes.
one,
What?
please do
Yes.
the same.
Okay. Yes, one thing, doctor. Suppose like you had kept Mahfouda as your owner also with you in that same class. So then
Yeah,
can she change the drafted assignment that you have saved?
yeah, of course,
Because
because she's the owner.
she is the owner along with you, so she
Yeah,
also can do that.
yeah.
She can make changes
Or
to the
what you
assignment.
can do depends on the task that you will give to her. If you want just to give her because you were absent and she will conduct that as lab assistant, during that week you turn for example Sheikha Mahfouda as the owner during that week only.
Okay, okay. All right,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you, most welcome. Okay, so let me see those who has already did the quiz. Okay, so how can I do that? I can go to grades and let me check the quiz here. Yeah, okay, so teams, yes, general view assignments. Okay, fine. So not all of you have answered that, but let me focus on people who has turned it in. Okay, select that, and now we'll start with Sheikha Mahfouda. Okay, so here I have the possibility to put a general feedback. Okay, and I can check here, for example, the answers. I can give feedback to this question. I will write here, excellent. Then here, no, there is no exam that can be conducted inside MS Teams. Okay, then I can give a general feedback. Okay, let's say good. And please revise the section of assessment with MS Teams. Okay, so there is no need to do save, as I told you. Once I will type any character, it will move from saving to save it. And I can go to the next students, okay, and I can continue that, okay, with the same things that I did here for give a general feedback. Okay, I can mention here, for example, no, this is wrong. Okay, and it will be saved and it will go to the next one. Okay, fine. So this is how you can do the grading, okay, of the quizzes and the assignments. Clear so far, guys?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
Yeah, how student
very
get
good.
notified about his grades? Where he should go to check? He would receive an email
Each
or what?
students, no, each students, once he do the quiz, he will see his grade, by the way. Okay, so once he do that, he can know that. But in case that I did some changes, and especially for the type of quizzes where you have an essay question, okay, you can, of course, Microsoft Forms, it's having AI intelligence behind it, but even that you put the answer as a paragraph, of course, the answer will be correct unless the user will write the same words that you have written in the paragraph as the correct answer. So you can modify that as faculty, and once it is saved, he can know that. The students, of course, he can have to see that as his grades. So once he go to his grades, he can see the grades that he has obtained. Of course, here is as faculty, I can see that. But as a student, he can see only himself, how many grades he obtained in the quiz and how many grades he obtained in the assignment. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome. More question before we move on? Is it fine? Okay. Now, the next point is that I'm going to talk about, question is, what's the difference between this assignment and this assignment button? Who can answer me?
Can you repeat the question, doctor? Just one
Yeah,
more.
I repeat right now. I am inside the course IT database. What's the difference between this tab assignment and this button assignment?
The one inside that, the one outside where the button assignment is showing you all the assignments in all the different classes, I think.
Exactly.
And the one
Yes,
inside
correct.
is only that.
Yeah, for me as faculty, if I click on this button assignment, it will give me all the assignment that I have assigned into the different courses that I'm teaching. Whereas if I will go to Teams and I will go to the assignment tab, it will just cite only the assignment that I have for this course only. Okay. Then move on. What are the other things we can do? We didn't talk about the meet. So I have two options. Either I will do meet now or schedule a meeting. Let's start with the schedule a meeting. So for example, I will say ITDB lecture 1. Okay, and I can define the date where will be this lecture. Let's say next Sunday at 12 p.m. Okay, it will be 1 hour 30, for example. Oh no, it's not 2 hours, 1 hour 30. Okay, and it will be done. Okay, and I click on send. I can check that on the general, it will be posted here. Okay, so the students get notification about that. I can check on the calendar, lecture 1 on Sunday. Okay, where is it? Which date I put? Sunday 30, yeah. Why it's not coming? 30.
Sunday is
Sorry.
before.
Yeah,
Doctor.
okay. Yeah, it's working here because I cannot see Sunday because I need. It's not the work week because work week in GCC countries is starting from Sunday. Okay, so I change it here, and here we go. Yeah, this is the point. So what I can do here, in case that I have an external guest that I would like to invite him, so what I can do, I can copy the link of this meeting, okay, and I can send it by email by pasting that into the subject. If I have any modification of the timing, I can do it by selecting that and I click on edit. I can even cancel the meeting if I want. I can do that by clicking on cancel meeting and cancel. Of course, it will be removed at all. So this is something I can do. Let me recreate another one. Why it is important for every meeting I need to have a title? Who can answer me, please? Hello? Okay, so it's important to have a title. Why? Because in order that you allow the students, once they see the calendar, they will not see lecture 1, lecture 2, lecture 3, because lecture 1, it's ambiguous for the students. Lecture 1 of which course? The students get confused. He cannot know that. But once he will see ITDB lecture 1, it's clear for him that this is lecture 1 for this course. Moreover, if I'm going to record that video of the lecture, and I will show you that where we can find the recording into Microsoft Stream, I will not see video 1, video 2, and video 3. This is confusing for me later on. Okay. Return back to calendar. So 30, yeah, it's there. Another thing is that I need to talk about is also about the meeting options, and I will recommend you that you need to consider for every meeting that you are scheduling to look at the meeting option.
A quick question, Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you schedule a meeting like this in the calendar, at the time of the meeting, will it automatically open, or do you have to open it again? I mean, the link is already sent when you schedule it, right, for the students. So at that time, should I send the link again to them, or they can open?
No. Automatically they will receive it and they can join. Yeah.
They can join. So at the time of the meeting, I'll have to just press the video to join meeting, and they will join. Or should I do something? Sure. Yeah, that's it.
No, that's all. No, nothing special for that. Okay, so as I said, for the meeting option, this is something very, very useful. Why? Because if you want to not allow students to play with you, you don't want that you get muted. You don't want that the students will present at your place. Who can bypass the lobby I do recommend you that you keep it only me. Why? Because even that you are conducting a lecture on a lecture hall, you as faculty, once you are there and you are teaching, you can see students are coming in or coming out. You can see it. And sometimes even the students is coming late after 45 minutes. Maybe you will not admit him. Okay. Who can present? Only me also. Allow microphone for attendees. I'll say no. And also allow camera for attendees. I will say no. Unless I will authorize them. Okay. You can explain that by just having the first lecture with them and you explain your policy and they need to adhere to this policy. Okay. Then after that, you click on save and the meeting options will be saved for that meeting. Okay.
Doctor, what do you mean
Fine.
by allow camera for attendees? What is the meaning of allow camera
It
for
means
attendees?
that I will not allow them to turn camera on and off. They will start playing with that. Okay. Also for the microphone. Okay. So from the beginning, they are muted. And after that, if there is a question, I will show you that in just a couple of seconds. So let's assume that I return back to the Teams here and I will do Meet now. Okay. Then I will say here IT DB lecture 0, for example. Okay. Because this is the first lecture that I'm doing. And I click on join. Hello.
Yes,
You can
doctor, we
hear me?
can. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you.
yeah. Sorry. I was trying to create a meet now, but unfortunately, since I am in the same meeting with you, you cannot conduct two meetings at the same time with Microsoft Teams. So this is something that you cannot do. But let me show you here. So what you can do here is that once you have the list of attendees here, what you
Doctor,
can do
doctor, you'll
here.
have to share the screen.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. You can see my screen now.
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, very good. So here is that I can here have the possibility to okay, unfortunately I didn't define that from the beginning. So I can turn here the camera on and off for each attendees. Okay, so this is something that I can do. I can explain to them that, for example, here I can see the raise hand. Okay. I'm sorry, Khawaj Banawaz, you have question?
Yeah, yes, Doctor. Unfortunately, I have class now, but I'm listening to you. So how can I see your video afterwards? This
Yeah,
recorded video.
At the end of this workshop, okay, I will share it with Sheikha Mahfouda, and
Yes.
after that, she will share it back with you.
Yep.
Okay, Doctor.
It
Thank
will
you.
be available, yeah, in the ETC
Yeah.
Talks channel.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was pleasure to meet you. Okay, fine. So as I said, I can have here the participant. I can see here the conversation. I can see here raise hand or even either like or dislike. I can have the possibility to stop the recording, applying background effects. I can have the possibility to have the together mode. If you just try to turn on your camera, please, all of you. Just a second of just to show you how we will have this together mode. I don't know if you know this feature before or not. The other, please. Okay, fine. Yeah, this is the point. This is the together mode. Okay, so once you will have that, you can have it to see all the attendees. And later on in the next version of Teams, we will have the possibility to customize this together mode to define a specific one. Okay, then what else we can say? Yeah, and also here, if I return back to the chat here, sorry, the participants, I can have the possibility to define also the permission, to manage the permission. Same thing, even that you do for the meet now, you can define here the permission that you will have. So only me, for example, who can present, only me. Allow mic for attendees, cameras, allow chat, is it enabled or disabled? So all of this, you can do it at this level, okay?
Yes,
Fine.
doctor, one thing. If I
Yes.
tell them to close the camera, if I put only me, then for
Yeah.
the mode where I see all my students, like the mode just now that you put in, they won't be able to show their face, right?
Yeah, sure, 100%. Yes, of course, yeah.
Okay.
Because the together mode requires that their camera should be on in order that they can
Okay.
see it.
Where do I go to switch that off and presenter only me? Where is that option?
Yeah, here. You go to so you should have be in participants here. Show the
Yes.
participant. Click on the three dots. Manage permissions.
Manage. Thank you.
Okay, and this is linked to each meeting that you will do. So each meeting will have its own meeting options.
Yes, doctor. Yes, sure.
Plus, also you can download the attendance list. I know that it's a headache for each faculty to do that for every lecture. You can download that as a CSV file, and you will have that downloaded as an Excel file.
Sometimes, doctor, they mute me. So where do I
Yeah,
go for them
this
not
is
to
the
touch?
point. Yeah, this is the point. To avoid that they will mute you is to make sure that you will mention here only me here, who can present, only me, and here you turn off these two. I do recommend you that you do that. Okay. Fine. Okay. The last point, breakout rooms. Okay, guys. So breakout rooms, you can do it unless you are conducting a meeting. So this is a prerequisite for conducting breakout rooms. So we are in a meeting, as you can see. Okay, and if we want to use the breakout rooms, this is the icon. I click on it, and I have the possibility to create as many rooms as I want. Depends how many people I will have. Okay, let's say I will have 4 rooms. Okay, and I will click on create rooms. The rooms will be created. Okay, so you can see my screen, guys.
Yes, doctor, we can see your screen.
Yeah, okay. So randomly he defined, he assigned a set of people to each room. Okay, so this is something that it's done automatically. What I can do, I can rename the room if I want. Okay, I'll say, let's say group 1. Rename that one. Then I can do the same thing for this one. Group 2. Then this one rename group 3. And the last one, 4. Then after that, if I want to move one person from one group to the other, let's say Ahmed Abdullah, I'll move it to group 2. I click on assign and I will move it to group 2. Then, for example, Hamad, I want to move it back to move him to group 1. I click on sign and I can move him to group 1. I have the possibility to recreate the rooms if I want, of course, but it will recreate it from scratch. I can have the possibility to remove the rooms if I want, and I can also have the room settings. So automatically move participant to room, and the participant can return to the main meeting. So this is something that either you accept or not. What does it mean? It means that if he's inside the group 1, if he will, you will allow him to move back to the main room, he can move it without your approval. Okay, so it's up to you. And the new feature is that this one is being added recently by Microsoft Teams. You can set up a time limits, okay, for each group. You will say, so for example, each group you will give them, let's say 4 or 5 minutes, okay, to do the exercise, or 15 minutes, and it will be done automatically for that. Okay, fine. Okay, so let us keep with these default settings, and I will start with the start rooms. Okay, so everyone will be moved to this room. You will receive a notification, all of you, and see you in a couple of seconds in the breakout rooms.
Doctor, we cannot hear you.
Welcome back to the main meeting, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this is the idea of the breakout room. So maybe you need to explain to your students that you are going to divide them as a group for the purpose of to do a specific task. And after that, you will tell them, you will visit each group one by one to see the progress, and you give your recommendation or your advice. And you also have, I showed to certain groups that they can have their own recording, their own chat. And yeah, this is the breakout rooms, guys. So I reached the end. I hope that you have learned something new. I know that you are expert in Teams, most of you, but I hope that you have learned
Not
least
at all,
something.
Doctor. We are learning. We are learning.
Yeah, we are all learning. You know, Teams is continuously updating, continuously improving. Every month there is a new version of Teams, and every month there is a new features that will be added to Microsoft Teams. So I do recommend you that you need to check from time to time the update of Teams. You can see my screen. Okay, let me share
we
it
can't
again.
see your screen.
No,
We
now
can't.
you should be able to see it.
Yes, Doctor.
Okay, so I said from time to time check the update of Teams. So in order to do that, you have to click here on the initials that you have, and you click on, I'm sorry, I don't have this privilege here, unfortunately.
Update. It's check updates.
Yeah, for you, you should have check updates. Okay, and for that, if there is a new version that is coming, it will be installed in the background, and once it is installed, they will just tell you refresh that. Okay, so do that from time to time in order to be sure to have the latest update of Microsoft Teams. Okay, I've reached the end. I hope that it was okay for you, this presentation. And
Yeah, thank you
it
very
is my
much.
pleasure to have you all.
Yeah, thank you very much, Doctor. Thanks a lot. We will wait for your for the recording to be posted in the
Sure.
UTAS webpage.
Yeah, sure. I will share
Thanks.
it maximum this afternoon. Inshallah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Doctor. مع السلامة.
Thank you so much. يلا السلام عليكم.
أهلين وعليكم السلام.
أهلا وسهلا. يلا.
شكرا دكتور.
شكرا. يلا يعطيكم العافية.